Hello, glad to greet you. We are the descendants of some gunsmiths that worked at the industrial town of Eibar in Guipúzcoa at the end of the 18th century. Ramon, the eldest of them, was able to achieve the highest professional position when he became Master Examiner or Technical Chief of Spain's most important technological center, the Royal Factory of Plasencia de las Armas, where he designed with his brother Blas the pistol of the Royal Guard. Because his brother Blas had migrated to Madrid, where he would dedicate his life to restore the armory of Madrid's Royal Palace, being the first member of the Zuloaga family in contact with the arts. While working in the catalogue of the Royal Armory, Blas collected technical books, guns and pictures. Probably one of them was this portrait of his employer, Ferdinand VII, that the Zuloaga family has kept until today. Blas sent his son Eusebio to learn with his uncle Ramon in Plasencia's Royal Factory. And in 1830, Eusebio traveled to Paris with a grant given by the king. There, he learned with the Lepage, the world's most famous gunsmiths. In 1832, Eusebio returned to Madrid so he could register a patent that was signed by the king. In the following years, Eusebio invented a new technique for inserting metals that he called damascene, with which he made extraordinary works of art for the kings and other European figures. In 1843, Eusebio received a donation from his father, Blas, that included all the pictures, technical books, guns, and tools of the family. 8 years later, Eusebio received the top international recognition, because these pistols were awarded with the top prize in London's 1851 World Exhibition. Since 1840, Eusebio had been dividing his time between his work in the Royal Armory and Eibar, where he founded a workshop and home in Contadorequa, the tower that founded the town, and that he bought in 1861, installing his collection there. His son Plácido spent several years learning with the sculptor Lienard, and later returned to take charge of Contadorequa. There he married and had 5 children. In this photo, Plácido sits with his 2 male sons. The angry one would become the painter Ignacio Zuloaga. Some months after that photo, Eibar was attacked by a rebel army. This motivated that the Zuloagas left with their employees and their art collection, being exiled during 3 years in Saint-Jean-de-Luz. In France, he completed the mausoleum of Spain's previous prime minister, a work that can be seen in Reus Cemetery, Tarragona. After the Zuloaga family returned to Eibar from exile, Plácido made extraordinary works, many of them for several European royal families. This allowed him to assemble an museographic collection with thousands of works. Contadorequa's fame provoked a visit of the Queen in 1887. Ignacio, Plácido's second son, decided to become a painter. First, he tried in Rome's academic ambience, and he later chose Paris modernity, where he tried with several new styles. In search of his own style, he went to Seville, but because of the absence of improvements in his art, he tried several professions, among them bullfighting. Ignacio lived in a building with other artists and with gypsy families. The painter fell in love with the gypsies. He not only painted them, he also learned their language and how to negotiate works of art. While he was going through a creative crisis, his friends Toulouse-Lautrec and de Thomas visited him in Seville. Maxime de Thomas offered him his Paris home to bolster his career. In order to save him the expense of paying a model, he arranged with his sister Valentine to pose for him, and with the painting also emerged love. Valentine's mother did not approve the courtship, but her grandmother managed to change her mind. So Valentine and Ignacio were able to get married. In their marriage contract is specified that Ignacio contributed with a collection of paintings of very high value. During the long honeymoon trip that they took through much of France and Spain, they made their first joint purchase, which was this figure seen on the right and which currently continues in the Zuloaga collection. Many of the paintings were purchased in poor condition and were restored by the artist himself. Initially, the couple and their collection were installed in the family's tower. The collection was expanded with the works that Ignacio inherited from his mother, and with the purchases from his father, who remarried and moved to Madrid. The great importance of the collection led to a long illustrated feature in an international arts magazine. Here you can see El Greco's Annunciation displayed in the exhibition. From the beginning, Valentine's character left its mark in the collection, because she wrote everything and kept it, writing where and when she took the photos. And she collected the thousands of articles that were published about her husband around the world. In 1906, the family moved with part of their collection to a duplex in Montmartre, where they educated their children Lucia and Antonio. In 1910, Plácido died, and in the distribution of his inheritance, the Contadorecua Tower was left to Ignacio's 4 siblings. That same year, the couple bought a sandy area in the marshes of Zumaya, where for 4 years they built Santiago Echea. They moved part of the collection there. In the following years, the couple built a museum in which to show the collection. During the Spanish Civil War, Contadorecua was deliberately burnt down during a military retreat, being later demolished. Currently, the Zuloaga collection is distributed between the Z Cultural Space Museum and Santiago Echea, owned by the Zuloaga collection.